Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is breaking down how Paige DeSorbo really is toxic and mean girl, much more manipulative than I even thought. So, if you guys are a part of the Giggly Squad, maybe this episode isn't for you because I'm going to share what I think is really going on with Paige, Austen, Craig, and how Sierra fits into all of this. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. It's a fun and easy way to support the show, and I'd appreciate it. So with that, let's go. So first, I'm going to talk about what I think is really happening between Craig and Austen. So if you're watching Southern Charm, you know that Craig and Austen are basically breaking up their bromance. They're no longer friends. They want to dissolve the podcast. Well, Craig does at least, and what's going on there. And then I'm going to break down what I think Paige is doing because allegedly she was the other woman with this guy, Joe D'Amelio, and all this stuff is coming out. So we'll see. All right. So I think the reason why Craig and Austen's bromance friendship dissolved was because Paige was on some toxic, mean girl, psycho get back because Austen was not into her BFF Sierra. I think the fact that Austen sort of, we've all been there. He hit it and he quit it and he just, wasn't interested in being in a relationship with Sierra. I think that Paige was pissed. I think she wanted her get back to avenge her friend Sierra. And so she purposely sabotaged the relationship between Craig and Austen. She purposely sabotaged their podcast. We see on the show, she is the one feeding everything to Craig. Austen's horrible. He drinks too much. The friendship is over. He's really immature. Let's get this money. It's all about business. You should take the podcast back, buy him out. You see, it's really all coming from her. And Craig, I mean, I'm not saying he's innocent, but he's kind of like a doofball. Like, I think that Craig sort of has this inferiority complex because he didn't grow up with as much money as the other guys on Southern Charm did. And now that he sort of has, this new money, he feels sort of compelled to portray this business guy. And then he has Paige, who is like kind of also portraying this like power couple image. So I think that Craig is much more malleable. He's much more influenced by Paige. I think the dynamic in the relationship switched. I think at the beginning, Paige was much more enamored with Craig. I think that she thought he was a catch, but I think as they got to know each other, as the relationship evolved, I think those roles changed, where now she thinks she's too good for him. And as we know now, they're broken up, and there is rumors that, she's cheating on him, which, by the way, she never denied. She never said he wasn't cheating, or she wasn't cheating, rather. And we're going to get into that speculation and allegations in a little bit. But that is what I think is really going on. I think that if Austen had wanted to date Sierra and wanted to be with her, and he hadn't, hit it and quit it and basically just used her for sex, which of course sucks. Nobody wants to be treated that way. I'm not saying that what Austen did was okay. It's not okay. But at the end of the day, it's not the first time, two single people have hooked up and one of them wasn't that into a relationship. It doesn't feel good. It's not nice. But at the end of the day, like, he didn't actually do anything wrong. They're two adults. They both wanted to hook up. She knew what the deal was. He knew what the deal was. And he just didn't want to have a relationship. Sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow. But at the end of the day, he didn't really do anything wrong. It's not like they were in a relationship and he cheated on her or he led her on and completely blindsided her. It was none of that. It was like, yeah, we're having fun. We're hooking up, but I don't want anything serious. And I know that can hurt people's feelings. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that, I don't know. You guys know what I'm saying. It happens. Two adults hang out, they have fun, they have sex. One person gets their feelings hurt. It's a story as old as time. I think that Paige was just really on her get back. I think she wanted to break up Craig and Austen because Austen hurt her best friend's feelings. Now, let's get into, and also another reason why I think that is so toxic and mean is because when she is doing this, it is so clear that she knows she's going to break up with Craig. She knows he's not the one. She's not willing to move. She's not willing to get engaged. She's not willing to make any concessions to be with him. Not that she necessarily has to, but I think when any partner, male or female, refuses to make any concessions or compromises, they already know they're not that invested. And so I think that it's really diabolical of her because you are breaking up a friendship between Craig and Austen because you're on your get back, knowing full well you are allegedly cheating on him and you know full well that you're about to break up with him. Why take away his support system? Why take away, people who are important in his life when you know you were about to cut him off? You're about to break his heart. You're about to kick him to the curb. Like, leave the man alone. Anyway, now let's get into the allegation that Paige was trying to be or was the other woman or whatever the case may be. So apparently Joe D'Amelio, I don't even know who this person is. I guess he's someone. I don't know. Let's read the article from Reality Blurb to get more information on him. But all this stuff is coming out that she was basically sliding in the DMs when he was very much engaged. Okay. So Joe D'Amelio's former fiance, artist Rachel Durant, has seemingly spoken out against a woman who interfered in her relationship just days following Paige DeSorbo's outing with the sports executive last weekend. In a post shared on her Instagram story days after she was identified as Joe's ex, Rachel, who split from Joe months ago, suggested that this woman was not only sent Joe inappropriate messages, encouraging him to leave her and date her instead. While Rachel didn't say any names, Summer House fans still suspect her post is about 32-year-old cast member Paige amid suspicions that these messages had been sent during Paige's 3-year relationship with Southern Charm star Craig Conover. Regarding what's been out there this past week during my relationship, disrespectful messages were sent to a man who was spoken for with absolutely no regard or respect for another woman or her relationship. Now, this is what she put up. Okay. Or her relationship, insinuating for him to leave me for her, Rachel wrote on January 17th. As my relationship went on, the banter continued, and I was purposely made to feel insecure, and my relationship was undermined. Rachel continued to target the woman, describing her as a, quote, girls, which is a title Paige has often received. As someone who holds themselves at such a high standard and claims to be a girl's girl, her action contradicts this, she explained. I had the courage to leave a toxic situation, and as a girl's myself, I'll continue to lift other women up and their relationships up, not to tear them down for my own good. I refuse to have anyone lie on my name and write their own false narratives about my life. It is what it is. I wish everyone the best, she continued. After the message was shared on Reddit, Summer House fans were taken by surprise, with many left in complete shock at the possibility that she had cheated on Craig and others expressing doubt. This is the thing. This is not the first time that Paige has been accused of cheating on Craig. Don't forget, last season, Taylor, on Southern Charm, Taylor herself, who is very messy, but just because she's messy doesn't mean she's not telling the truth, claimed that Paige was cheating on Craig. I personally would not be surprised if this was true. I think that, like I said earlier in the video, I think Craig had the power in the beginning of the relationship, but that switched and now Paige has the power. Obviously, they're breaking up now. Do I think Paige cheated on Craig? I do. Do I think that Paige is the girl that Rachel is talking about? I do. Do I think that Paige was being manipulative and sending him text messages to break up with his girlfriend and date her instead? I do. We've seen Paige be highly manipulative and mean. She's a girl's girl when it comes to her friends. That doesn't mean she's a girl's girl to all girls. Like I said before, the reason why I think she came so hard between Austen and Craig to sabotage their friendship is because Austen played Sierra. So, do I think Paige is toxic and mean and capable of this? 100%. She played the hell out of Lindsay, pretended to be Lindsay's friend last summer. Now, I'm not saying Lindsay is right because Lindsay is also unhinged, but she played the hell out of her and played her, pretending to be her friend. And the whole time she was trying to get Lindsay and Carl to break up their engagement. Now, we all know that's for the best, but don't play in somebody's face, act like they're their friend when you're really not. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Paige, if this is about you, now is the time to pull the receipts out. Lindsay Humrock came out of retirement. We need a PR team. One person begged, as another said Paige would surely clear her name. Sure. Another person said, if this is true, my opinion of Paige will forever be tainted. Another person admitted, holy crap. Another proclaimed. Others said that they were speechless, screaming, crying, and throwing up. Someone else suggested that Joe may have lied to them both, as another hinted this is going to get good. Now, this is the thing. Paige knew Joe was engaged, and Paige was in a full-on 3-year relationship with Craig. Any way you slice it, Joe and Paige are both dead wrong if this comes out to be true. My gut says it is. I've never trusted Paige from day one. I think she's very I think she's toxic. I think she's mean. I think she's very manipulative. I think she puts a good front up and a good mask. I've never liked Paige. I've never liked Hannah. I'm not going to keep that a secret. Not personally, because I don't personally know them. I just mean from the personas that they put out on their podcast, on their reality show. So nothing personal. I don't know these people. When I say I don't like them, I'm just talking about the persona that they play on these shows. So there's that. But I want to know what you guys think about this. What do you think about my theory that the reason why Paige sabotaged Craig and Austen is because Austen played her best friend Sierra? And what do you think about the allegations that the person that came between Joe and his ex-fiancee Rachel was Paige while he was engaged and while she was seeing Craig? And are you watching Summer House? Are you watching Southern Charm? What are your thoughts? And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.